Recording in progress.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome. I'll have City Manager Sean Rebay report out from closed session.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. So, as council knows, staff knows, lots of community members know, I have been selected to serve as the Placer County Assistant CEO. So this is my last city council meeting. Closed session before was to discuss potential interim city manager, and so that'll be coming back on direction from council on the next council meeting. I just wanted to say, so this is my last city council meeting working for Auburn. I appreciate the council's support. It's been a great city to work for. One of the highlights of my career working for the city of Auburn. And so I committed to making sure that the transition between me and the interim city manager, when his contract comes before council, that process is seamless and there are no issues going forward with that transition. So last day working for the city will be July 11th, but I do have scheduled vacation the 8th, 9th, and 10th. So last day at City Hall will be July 7th.
Okay, thank you so much, and thank you for everything you've done to help us right our ship. And the council's all appreciated working with you. So we wish you wouldn't go, but we appreciate what you've done. So thank you. And with that, we will go ahead and call to order our regular session here on June 22nd, 2026. Let's see, Council Member Dowden Calvillo, would you like to lead us in the pledge?
Sure. Please join me in the pledge.
Oh, roll call.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if you'd please call the roll.
Absolutely. For the record, Councilmember Holmes is absent this evening. Councilmember Amara.
Present.
Dowden Calvillo.
Present.
Riddell Harris.
Here.
Mayor Davis.
Here. Thank you very much. We have no commendations, proclamations, or acknowledgements tonight. We'll move forward with adoption of the agenda. This is the time set aside for council members and or the public to ask for removal, postponement, or a change to the listed sequence of an agenda item. The agenda will be approved by consensus of the council. Do we have any requests from council? Any requests from the public? All right, agenda stands. Thank you very much. Consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine in nature and will be approved by one blanket motion with a roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless persons request specific items to be removed from the consent calendar for discussion and separate action. Any items removed will be considered after the motion to approve the consent calendar. Do we have any requests from council? No. Any requests from the public? All right, seeing none, do we have?
Yes, Madam Clerk, I'll move adoption of the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Excellent. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Amara.
Yes.
Dowden Calvillo.
Aye.
Riddell Harris.
Aye.
Mayor Davis.
Aye. All right, consent calendar passes. Fantastic. Moving on to public comment. This is the time provided so that the public may speak to the council on any item not on this agenda. Please make your comments as brief as possible, not to exceed 3 minutes. The council cannot act on items not included on this agenda. Items may be referred to staff or placed on a future agenda. Do we have any public comment from the council?
Nope.
The only public comment I would make is that Western States Endurance Run Week, actually, next year I think we should proclaim the week of Western States Endurance Run Week, and then also for Tevis Cup, because they are so important to the endurance community. So just to kind of put a note, maybe we think about that for Tevis. Western, again, just for those two, because they were really the grandfathers of the endurance community, really worldwide. So it come down to the finish line. The runners will start coming into Placer High School track around 6:37, and I think we've got a great lineup. So come out and cheer for the runners here. Many countries that will be represented running from Olympic Valley to Auburn at the Western States. So looking forward to it. Thank you.
Yes, and to piggyback on that, it's free fare Saturday for on demand. So if you want to avoid the traffic of coming to Placer High School, get on demand.
Or ride your bike.
Or
and
ride
you
your
can
bike.
park it for free.
Yes, we'll
You
have
have valet.
Yep, well, free bike valet, Saturday 5:30 to 9:30 and Saturday 8:30 to 1.
Or you can just walk like me.
Lots of options.
I had a quick thing too. We just went to it, so I just wanted to acknowledge the Rotary for all the work that they've done on the front of City Hall. They installed a peace pole. There's a great bike, what do you call it? Bike
Rack? Oh, a fix-it
Bike
station.
repair.
Fix-It station there, and a water bottle filling station, and Public Works has done a great job, and so has Rotary, and a bunch of people have volunteered their time to spread out mulch and all kinds of things. They're going to do more work on it in the fall to do more plantings and things when it's not 100 degrees, which I think is smart. But it's making some great progress, and the little area that's out in the little area has a new umbrella and everything is going to be a great addition to City
Picnic
Hall.
tables
So
and,
just wanted to acknowledge everyone who was part of that because it's great.
and there's a place that your dog can get water at the water bottle filling station too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll just add, you mentioned the on-demand, and it's every Saturday, correct? Through the summer, 8 a.m., 5 p.m., but we're thinking about extending hours possibly on the weekends, right? But right now, it's free for free Saturday, but the hours on-demand is still 8 a.m. I mean, Friday, it's at 8 o'clock, or 6 o'clock. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I just want to announce it so people will use the on-demand bus.
Menjel Dean, Public Works Director, and thank you, Councilmember Amaro, for asking. Yes, so all Saturdays during the summer months are free. We're looking to expand that to Fridays and Saturdays during the summer months because we think it's important to do. The times during the week is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. currently, with the expansion up to 8 p.m. possible coming up very shortly. And currently it is 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the weekends, or I should just say Saturday, and we're looking to expand that to 7 p.m. So we will, once the expansion times come out, we will make a very public announcement and everyone will be aware of it.
Okay.
Thank you, Menjel.
Thank you.
So there is again music every Friday on the square near Tango, right down the square, and it starts at 6, ends at 8. Different musicians. It's been wonderful, great turnout. Please join, and you can take the on-demand bus there, and maybe not home yet, but eventually you will be able to. And yes, I want to do a big shout out. That was going to be part of my committee report. Sustainability has been working very hard on the front lawn, and Rotary partnered, and thank you, Rotary. Thank you, everyone that's been helping. There's a lot of people that have come out and put in a lot of labor of love, and it's beautiful out there. So thank you very much.
Yeah, fantastic. I'd also just like to recognize the Old Town Association, Cat Ike, Milo, Martin Maddox, Jump Rap Media for all their work on Saturday, for the city, for coordination for the A-Town Classic. There were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people down there, and a good time. I hope, Chief, it was no problems. Good, okay. So thank you to them, and good work, because it brought a lot of new faces, a lot of new folks to Auburn, so.
That's always
Good work.
fun. I mean, that's crazy
It
how
was so
fast they
fun.
ride those boards down that hill.
All right, public comment.
Yes, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Adam Torella. I'm a resident of the Sky Ridge neighborhood. I'm here to ask the City Council review the recent streetlight replacement in the neighborhood. The previous amber streetlights were softer and better suited for a residential area. The new bright white LED lights are much harsher, and because prior shielding or diffusion seems to have been removed, the light now creates more glare and spills into homes and the streets. I'm not opposed to street lighting for public safety. I'm just asking that responsible lighting, being warm color temperature, proper shielding, lower brightness where appropriate, and clear specifications for any contractors or utility providers performing this work. It's not just an aesthetic concern. Overly bright blue rich nighttime lighting can contribute to glare, light trespass, sleep disruption, circadian disruption, and quality of life impact for the residents. The American Medical Association has warned communities about high intensity Blue Rich LED street lighting and recommends minimizing glare and Blue Rich lighting. Dark Sky International and Illuminating Engineer Society recommend that outdoor lighting be useful, targeted, low light, controlled, and warm colored. A 2023 study published in Nature Mental Health also found that greater nighttime light exposure was associated with increased risk for severe psychiatric disorder, while daytime light exposure was generally associated with reduced risk. I'm asking the city to make sure residential lighting is designed thoughtfully. Since this is not on tonight's agenda, I understand the council may not be able to take action tonight, but I'm respectfully asking that this matter be referred to the appropriate city staff, including Public Works or Engineering, for further review and response. I would also ask that the city council, if needed, consider placing this issue on a future agenda. Specifically, I would ask that staff review fixture specifications, color temperature, lumen output, shielding, and whether contractor utility work orders clearly require warm shielded residential lighting. And if the utility companies or subcontractors replacing fixtures may need more specific standards so residents do not end up with overly bright, unshielded white LED lights by default. Thank you.
Sir, can you state your name again for the record?
Yes, Adam Torella.
Okay, thank you.
Torruella.
Thank you.
Mr. City Manager, I've also, I have the same thing coming in my window of my house out near Sky Ridge, so I'm with you. We don't have any control, it's PG&E, so can you figure out what abilities we have to tell PG&E what to do for color lighting? Because I know I've brought this up numerous times, and I've even complained and asked for shielding, and they won't install it, and it's been a couple months now.
Yeah, it's been an issue that's brought up in different neighborhoods also. We're working with PG&E, with the public affairs person right now, to try to figure out how to address it. So we are working on it.
Do they have a method for setting up their standards of what they install that they have to, because I don't think they talk to us
Yeah,
at
I
all
don't-
for what
nope.
they put in our neighborhoods. Is
Yeah,
there any
no.
way of bringing that up and making a standard?
We can talk to them and see if there is one. I don't know if there is one or not. But the poles are owned by PG&E. They're not city poles, so there's only so much that we can do other than trying to work with them and make sure that they understand the impact to residents for sure.
Okay.
So I'll work with Menjel to try to figure out a way to address it as much as possible.
Because it's not any cheaper for them to install terrible lighting.
Right.
They just
Yeah,
are
right.
choosing the color lighting that's terrible
Right.
for putting in a residential neighborhood on purpose.
right.
So, okay,
Right.
thank you.
Be helpful for the residents too, to have a petition for PG&E too, or?
It might be. I think it would probably be more helpful for council to take some sort of an action.
Okay,
And so that would be a good thing for the incoming interim city manager or Menjel to work on,
okay,
for sure.
great, thank you.
Good evening, Council. Mayor John Rogers, your fire chief, and this evening I'm here to inform you of two recent deaths that have impacted the fire department. The first one is our administrative prevention volunteer, Jeff Michaels, who passed away on the evening of June 19th, and then retired Auburn Volunteer Fire Department Battalion Chief John Fee, who passed away on June 5th. So I'd like to start with Jeff. He began volunteering with the fire department on March 6th, 2024. One of his first major contributions was assisting with the Baltimore Ravine Shaded Fuel Break project. He coordinated closely with the project's contracted registered professional forester during the CEQA review and helped assemble the RFP document that secured the contractor for phase one of the project. His technical expertise and project management was instrumental in keeping this project moving forward. Jeff also handled all of the quarterly reporting and reimbursement processes, ensuring that the city received timely payments for all services provided. Most recently, he assisted with the RFP for phase two of the project and continued to support with his oversight. Jeff also submitted the Roby Point Public Right-of-Way Project grant application to the California Fire Foundation, resulting in a $15,000 grant award that allowed the first phase of canopy and roadway thinning to begin in the Roby Point neighborhood. And he also supported the OES/Middle Fork Project grant application for phase two of the project, which is scheduled to start July 6th. Beyond these projects, Jeff supported all the department's chief officers as needed. He helped with updating our WUI strategic plan He created a fire department risk assessment document and assisted in the review of department policies and procedures, including the most recent work on our line of duty death and injury policies, which Chief D'Ambrosi is working on pushing out here shortly. Jeff was a humble and kind man, always somebody willing to lend a hand, and he'll be sorely missed. And I'd like to just share a brief story about the type of person Jeff was. I was approached by Carolyn Metzger in 2025 to assist with providing a Rotary Award, Service Award. Jeff left the meeting before the award presentations. He wasn't aware that he was receiving an award. And I called Jeff afterwards and asked where he went. He told me he had a meeting online with CAL FIRE to finalize a quarterly report for the Baltimore Ravine Shaded Fuel Break project. So that was Jeff quietly working behind the scenes, providing services to the community. And then we had June 5th, retired volunteer fire department battalion chief John Fee, an active hook and ladder company #1 member, passed away after a long-term illness. John supported many hook and ladder company events and projects and mentored numerous Auburn Fire Department members throughout his years of service, including myself. Most recently, he dedicated many hours to coordinating the city's historians' efforts as they assembled the History of the Auburn Hook and Ladder Company #1 book. His positive attitude and willingness to assist where needed will greatly be missed, and his memorial is scheduled for June 27th at 11 a.m. at the Auburn Elks Lodge. And then in closing, I'd just like to circle back to Jeff's wife, Kathy, and daughter, Nicole, and just have us keep them in our thoughts and prayers, and John Fee's children, Trevor and Tiffany as well. Thank you for your time.
Madam Mayor, I would like to request that we adjourn tonight's meeting in memory of both Jeff Michaels and John Fee for their service to the city of Auburn.
You got it. Thank you, Chief. I'm so sorry for your loss, and our condolences to the families.
Yes.
That's a big loss. Thank you. I have one more public comment I'm adding, sorry, for 4th of July, because I don't think we'll meet again before the 4th, is that we're still fundraising, and there's a Give Butter link on the website as well as social media, and our city manager continues to accept donations for fireworks.
Pounding the pavement.
Yeah.
For donations. The city did receive a very generous donation from the United Auburn Indian Community. They donated $10,000. So that's half of the cost of the fireworks. So we'll make sure that their logo and thank you from a letter goes to them for sure.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Next, we have a public hearing. Notice to the public. City Council, when considering a matter scheduled for hearing, will take the following actions. We will start with a presentation by the staff. Yeah, okay. This is a public hearing to levy the annual assessment fee for business improvement districts.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. Christina Schaefer, Finance Analyst.
Can you bring your mic? There you go.
The item before you tonight is the second step in the annual Business Improvement District assessment process. On May 11th, the City Council adopted a resolution of intent and scheduled tonight's public hearing for the proposed fiscal year 26-27 BID assessments. As a reminder, the assessment rates remain unchanged from last year.
All right, we'll go ahead and open this public hearing. Do we have any public testimony or public comment? All right, we will close this public hearing. Any council comments or questions? No?
No.
All right, seeing none, do we have, what do you want, a resolution, a motion?
I move we approve by resolution the 26-27 levy of annual assessment fees for Old Town business and the improvement and downtown Auburn business improvement districts.
I'll second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Amara.
Yes.
Dowden Calvillo.
Aye.
Riddell Harris.
Aye.
And Mayor Davis.
Aye. Thank you very much. Next, we have a 2026-27 sewer assessment to be placed on Placer County tax roll.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Menjel Dean, your Public Works Director again. As a reminder, on an annual basis, the city places its annual sewer tax roll on the county tax roll, and we're required to hold a public hearing in order to do so. The tax roll implementation this year is a 5% increase on the sewer rates, which was adopted by council through our most recent, I don't remember the exact date it was done, but the council adopted the document that indicated that we were allowed to do this. We went through the public period during this to ensure that the public is well aware of it. We're placing this on the Placer County tax roll as we do it on an annual basis, and there's no change besides that. And besides that, I have nothing else for you.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and open the public hearing. Do we have any public testimony or public comment? Seeing none, we will close the public hearing. Any council comments or questions? Seeing none, can I have a motion for a resolution?
I'll move by resolution that we authorize levying the sewer service charge for fiscal year 26-27 to be placed on the County of Placer tax roll.
I'll second. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Amara.
Yes.
Dowden Calvillo.
Aye.
Riddell Harris.
Aye.
Mayor Davis.
Aye. Thank you very much. Council business. These items include discussion and/or action by the City Council. Tonight, we will be receiving a presentation on the City of Auburn strategic plan.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So, let's see.
Let me, hold on one second.
Turned on.
Okay.
Look at that. Okay. So, as council knows, we've gone through this process, started this actually in 2023, realized that we had this fiscal situation that the city had, put the strategic planning effort on hold, and then came back at the beginning of this year to pick it back up, and this is kind of the fruit of that process. So why do we do this strategic planning? Organizations require more than simple responding to issues of the day. We need to continue to look 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years out, 10 years out, plan for the future, and it's difficult to do that unless we have something like a strategic plan to kind of help guide us and show us the path that we're moving forward. What that is it's a shared vision, as you can see up on the presentation here. The shared vision and strategic direction for the city using council input, staff input, and then hopefully reflecting the community's values as well, which is what we are all here to do. And the other thing that it does is it helps align kind of the budget stuff that we're working on. The budget is not only a financial document, but it's also a prioritization, and it shows council and the city's values on what we think is important to do, right? And so the budget should be reflecting strategic plan efforts, and because we have the budget that was just adopted, kind of falling out of the strategic planning effort also. It also provides accountability for measurable outcomes. So when you look at the plan itself, you'll see down in the detail that there's specific goals. The goals are not only 3-year goals, but there's also 1-year goals. It talks about who the lead that's going to be working on that is, and then the time frame of when that will be done. So it gives something for council to point back and city manager to point back to staff and ask why we are behind on this, why we're doing it while following this, and kind of providing that direction. So I talked about this a little bit. We had a meeting in February 2nd and March 2nd this year with Scott Winters from Brain Dynamics? Yeah. Right? Yeah, Brain Dynamics. Worked with the city a couple different times, and he's also worked extensively with Leadership Auburn, consulting firm and facilitator. So those 2 different meetings were focused about identifying key priorities and areas of focus for the city based on staff input and council dialogue, and kind of taking those, melding them together, and creating the plan that you have in front of you. And then that basically is creating that foundation for the implementation of the plan. So it's not just pretty words on a page, it's also how you were going to implement that, that's part of this plan as well. The plan's a system, so it's setting the direction for the city, for staff, for the council. And then underneath the strategic plan, there's an operational plan that'll be worked on by staff level document that's translating those goals into annual actions. Some of that is included in the strategic plan itself, but there are more that fall underneath that staff will be working on. The department work plans and budgets align with, did I trigger Siri? Was it? Oh, I thought I heard a Siri. I did hear a Siri. So the department work plans and budgets align with those priorities, and then we will have annual or at least semi-annual reports back to council to kind of give you a heads up and let you know where things are, how things are progressing. So we came up with 6 focus areas during that strategic planning session. You can see the 6 there. I'm going to talk about each one individually as we go through. You folks in the audience might wonder why there's no like housing listed on there. That falls under number 3, quality of life and community well-being, because it's kind of a encompassing thing that we need to be working on for the city. It affects all kinds of different sectors. This shows how they're all kind of interconnected, and so if I can, so you can see along the top, these are the different focus areas, and then down the side also. So economic development, jobs, grow the tax base, which helps with financial stability, quality of life, financial stability services require funding. Each of these works together in some way or another, and so it's really an interconnected plan that each piece is feeding off of the other areas. So the first one is focus area of financial stability. And so what we were looking at on that is basically strengthening the long-term fiscal sustainability of the city, maintaining services, identifying opportunities to improve revenue stability, which ties into economic development, if you go back to that previous slide, and then aligning the resources that the city has with the community priorities from folks who live here. I'm not going to go through the actual like goals and stuff underneath. That's all in the packet, and I don't want to be up here for 2 hours going through all that stuff. But you can read that. Obviously, it's in there if you want to check it out. Second one is economic development, supporting the existing businesses and attracting investment, strengthening our economic base, enhancing downtown and community vitality, and then increasing opportunities for revenue growth. Both of those are a key issue for the city. We've talked about that multiple times. Our budget numbers on the revenue side are basically flat or potentially dipping a bit. Resources, financial resources specifically, let us do things as a city, and unless you're changing the inputs on either revenue coming in or changing the service delivery that we have, the outputs are not going to change. So you need to change one or the other and figure out how to adjust the revenue side or the expense side and or both. We've been working on quite a bit of this. Jonathan, Economic Development Director, has been working on quite a bit with a potential hotel, for example, with the TOT, and I talked about that at a recent council meeting, how important hotels are to the city, not only so we have places for people to stay when they're coming to the races. Western States is this weekend. The folks who are coming for that race either stay at the Holiday Inn or the Elmwood Holiday Inn. And if they're not able to get a room there, or in an Airbnb, which is like a kind of burgeoning thing that we have here, they end up going down the hill or up the hill, one place or the other, which means that they take their tax money with them. And so we've been working with a potential hotel developer to figure that out and to provide a potential hotel. Bless you. Bless you. Next one's quality of life, so supporting housing, safety, recreation, community character, enhancing the livability for residents and visitors, protecting the qualities that make Auburn unique. There's not a whole lot of discussion about like the housing type that we need in the strategic plan, because that kind of falls out of the general plan. Backing up also, all of these focus areas tie back to the general plan that will be coming forward to the council, tie back to some of the areas that are talked about in that general plan and the policies that are in that general plan. So we don't want to have something in the strategic plan that is conflicting with the general plan, and the general plan is kind of the apex document for the city. So everything kind of falls out from underneath that. But, you know, like providing for housing types, different housing types in this community is very important. We have a high single resident senior population, which means that there's a lot of housing stock that is has only one senior living in it, which doesn't free up new housing or housing types for new families to move into the city. And so looking at ways to incentivize potential housing developments that are like a smaller footprint house, kind of the starter homes that we don't typically build as cities anymore, is one of the things that I think is a policy in the general plan that we need to like focus on and try to work towards. If you don't have new families moving into the city, school districts start to suffer because they have declining enrollment, which means that people aren't going to move here because the school districts are in trouble, which means that, so this like circle that is really difficult to get out of unless the city starts exerting some pressure on the housing side because we don't run schools. The next one's planning and development, so guiding the physical future thoughtfully, improving development processes and predictability. That's a key one that I've tried to focus on, and that our new planning director, Tia Klump, has also done a great job of trying to focus on to make sure that folks bring in a permit, that they're able to get through that process as quickly as possible, and they don't get hung up on multiple rounds of revisions on plan checks to make that as easy as we can do. And then implementing long-range planning efforts that ties back to the general plan. And so just kind of tying back to the general plan, the draft EIR and the draft general plan itself should be released in mid-July. There's a comment period for the draft EIR and for the draft general plan. Once that's up, at the 45-day comment period, once that's up, wrap all that stuff together and then start presenting it to the Planning Commission with the goal of getting it to the council by November-ish. Next one's engagement and organization. So looking at increasing transparency and meaningful community participation, strengthening that communication and trust, organizational capacity to deliver results. That's more about the staffing side or using consultants to help when we need to. And then supporting employees in effective service delivery, also super important to make sure that our employees know that they are valued, that the work that they do is important, and that we're also delivering those services as cost effectively and resource effectively as we can. We have done quite a bit of this, especially on the finance side. On the transparency side, we use ClearGov now, so if you go to the city's website and search for transparency, there's an actual transparency portal that gives you, and the budget book is actually built on that ClearGov platform, that you can drill down and look and see into the city manager's office how many paper clips I've bought in the past fiscal year if you want to do that. Maybe not quite to that detail, but it does go down into pretty significant detail. And you can also search by vendor that we have, how much we've paid those vendors over a certain number of years. So we're trying to show the community that the funding and the taxes that people pay to the city to do city things is being spent as wisely as possible. I guess that was it for the, let's see, that was it for the focus areas. The implementation and the accountability, so the annual objectives will translate the strategy into action. So if you look at the plan itself, when you go down to the kind of second half of those pages, there's an annual kind of work plan in there that talks about, for example, on the transparency side, that departments will be engaging with the public on at least 3 public events per year. I do have a couple of revisions that I'm going to talk about in a few minutes that tie back to some of that. But the idea is that you can look at the strategic plan, see where we are, reports back to council, and then track how things are working. Scott Winters, through his consulting firm, has a dashboard that the city can actually use, feed the strategic plan into, and then tie back into that. So it's sort of like the ClearGov thing, but specifically for the strategic plan. I didn't give him a yes or a no, we want to do this. I think it might be a good thing to look at. I don't know how cost effective it is to do that though, so it's something that we should probably check into. And then it's meant to be, the plan's meant to be a living document. It's not meant to sit on a shelf, gather dust, and it's not meant to be static either. So each year, as you're doing your annual kind of updates, staff is giving you an update on where everything's at. You want to be looking at, okay, well, this is done, and so let's swap that out, put something new in. but try to keep the path moving forward, and so you're not doing these kind of hard right or left turns and kind of creating resource constraints within the city itself. So 2 small changes that I was talking about. One of them is on page 14 of the strategic plan in your packet. That's page 543. So I had in there that all departments would be, or each department would be doing some sort of like public engagement 3 times a year. That honestly doesn't really work. Like, for example, HR doesn't need to be doing public events 3 times a year. Finance probably doesn't either. Public Works probably should. And so I'm recommending that you change that to public-facing departments. And then also on page 18 of the plan, so that's page 547 on the packet, and the row title council briefing, so that's like council candidates who are going to be running for election. There would be a council briefing. The lead under that says that it would be the city manager and the mayor. That's not, it wouldn't be appropriate to have the mayor sitting in on those meetings. And it's an artifact that was left over from a previous version that I didn't catch that I talked about with him. But recommending striking that and just leaving it to city manager leading those briefings. Because the mayor might also be running for election, obviously, and, you know.
Sean, did we have that other change on the leadership program?
Oh, sorry, I didn't catch that. So discussion with Council Member Dowden Calvillo on page, let me see.
I left my plan at home, but I think it was like on the next page.
Yeah, so on page 545 of the packet, it's page 16 of the plan. Under the objectives, participate in leadership academies, all department directors with city manager oversight, the timeline is for that. A success measure is sending one city employee, at least one city employee participates in both Leadership Auburn and the Sacramento Valley Leadership Academy. My phrasing was not great because I was doing this late at night. And what I meant to say was have one city employee attend the Leadership Auburn and one city employee attend the Sacramento Valley Leadership Academy. So we would have 2 different employees attending 2 different training sessions each year. I think it's just important to do that for staff development. It's really important to do that. We've routinely sent somebody, at least one, to each of those for the past several years. Fiscal year 24-25, we didn't because of the budget situation, but I do think it's important to do that. So I'll figure out how to, if council's okay with making that change, I'll figure out how to wordsmith that and make the change in the document itself. So the recommendations to adopt by resolution, the strategic plan with the proposed changes from the previous slide and the one that I just verbally gave you. And then just to continue to use that living plan as a guiding document for future priorities, budget, and implementation. And I would point out that doing this at my last council meeting is sort of a bittersweet thing because I spent a lot of time figuring out how to put this thing together and having it be hopefully approved by council, but not being here to watch it be implemented is a kind of a, you know, bitter pill,
You'll be
I suppose.
watching. You'll be
Yes, ma'am.
watching.
Sit in the audience and yell.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you for the work you put into it and having it buttoned up before leaving so that we can have a smooth transition with our intentions clear. So thank you very much. Do we have any questions from council?
I just had a quick, thanks, Sean. This is great. I've been pushing for a strategic plan since I got on council 6 years ago, so this is pretty exciting. I'm all about planning. As far as planning, how regularly are we going to have staff come back to us with how we're doing on this? And then is it going to be an annual meeting to have an update? I just want to, it tends to be one of those things where we don't want it to be put on a shelf, but then we get busy and then we kind of forget about it. So I just wanted to.
Yeah. So it's a 3-year strategic plan. I think that you should be doing annual updates to the staff should be doing annual update to the council to give an update. This is where we're at. If there's something that's completely wrapped up, council could talk about adding something in. But I think every 3 years, or at least after the planned date, so 2028, you want to do an updated one. Originally, this was going to be a 5-year strategic plan, but because things are so kind of fluid, Scott and I decided to make it 3 years. So I would say fully update it at the end of 2028, knowing that it should be a 5-year plan, but do an annual review update from staff on where things are at.
Is this something that we should review before we set the budget, after we set the
It
budget?
should be done before.
Okay, so maybe it's not at the end of the fiscal year, but more
No.
something in spring that we
Right.
talk about?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to give a
I would
time
do it,
frame.
I mean, like the timing from my perspective would be, you do the mid-year budget update February or March, you should do this basically the couple weeks after that,
Okay.
right?
Okay, I just wanted to have us all on the same page on kind of what that timeline was. That's all I had. Thank you.
Yes. I just want to say thank you, Sean. And, you know, and thanks to my colleagues as well and staff. You know, this was, you know, a partnership and, you know, everybody that participated in this process, it was open to the public, although we didn't really get, I don't think, too much public input, but certainly was open to the public. But we did spend quite a bit of time on this. We started it, and then we kind of stopped it, and then we restarted it again. But I think that, you know, what's proposed is a great document, a good plan for us to move forward with, and to really be able to achieve the goals that we've set. But I'm very grateful that we've gotten to where we are, and I think this is a really strong document. So I'm very supportive. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment?
I'll chime in. I just want to add, yeah, thank you, everyone in our council, too. We spent many days going over this and planning and taking extra time, so I do really appreciate it, and staff as well. And, of course, Sean for leading it. Thank you. It was a very pleasant process.
Consultant was really good.
Yeah, he was great.
Great consultant.
Okay, any public comment? Thank you. Do I have a resolution?
I'll move by resolution that we adopt the strategic planning document for 2026 to 2028.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Amara.
Yes.
Dowden Calvillo.
Aye.
Riddell Harris.
Aye.
Mayor Davis.
Aye. Thank you. Thank you, Sean.
And just to clarify, as amended.
As amended, yes.
Approve the plan as amended based on Sean's.
Are we going to get a pretty version of it? Well,
Yeah, we'll have,
Recommended
so
nicely.
the city entered into contracts with two design firms. One of them is intended to do kind of like internal design stuff. The other is like kind of marketing. So the contract with the internal consultant will have them put together an actual like brochure that's a trifold brochure that you can take and hand out, right? To make it something that is actually like a tangible thing that we can hand out
great.
and make it look nicer. This is just the kind of draft.
Perfect.
Cool. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to reports.
Now you get to go over there. and
Yeah, so
Did you wanna
I
stand
figured
up
I'd
there?
just stand up here since I'm already here. So I talked about the fireworks earlier and the large donation that we received from the United Auburn Indian Community. We also received a couple of $1,500 donations, so one from IFC Finance, Peter Conrad's firm, and then also from our esteemed city attorney, Gary Bell, his firm, Qualitono Highsmith and Watley. 1,500 from both of those, and then there's been some other $500 donations. One from the Rebay Family Foundation that I made up because I wanted to put some kind of a picture on the banner thing, and then I think Councilmember Dowden Calvillo is also going to be donating. Talked about the general plan progress, so that's we're currently reviewing the draft EIR and the draft general plan. Both of those are expected to be released for the public review mid-July. The DOME's final EIR, so that's the Auburn Station Info Project that council heard maybe a year-ish ago. Final EIR is currently being reviewed by staff and Placer County. Once final comments have been reviewed on those and incorporated, it'll be released for public comment. And then moving forward with that, staff will be focused on finalizing that master plan document, the zoning recommendations, and then the CEQA findings and filings. That should be to council hopefully in October.
Mr. City Manager, on the Domes project, since they don't have any ETA on when they're moving out of the building, does that just kind of sit and wait until
Yeah.
something happens?
Yeah, so this project was funded by a grant through the Green Means Go grant through SACOG. And the idea was if the county decides to move out from the domes, to have something in place that will help guide and shape development there. Not necessarily that the county is going to build all this stuff. And so, but we also didn't want to leave it as just a blank slate and have, the domes building has actually also been put on the historic register, which complicates things a little bit. There is a version of this plan that leaves the buildings the way that they the area the way that it was, not keep it as office buildings, obviously. And so because of the historic register, I'm not sure what the level is. I'll figure that out probably next month. But whatever that level is depends on what we can, what can happen with the building, so.
Okay. Thank you.
On the finance department side, business licenses have been, so we've been notifying our businesses of the transition to HDL for the administration of our business license program. Council approved that, I think, last meeting or the meeting before. And so we've had a couple of different businesses opt in to renew their licenses ahead of that transition, so they don't get stuck in the middle. But those who have not will have a grace period to pay their license fees until August 31st. The go live date on this kind of switch over from the city system to the HDL system is August 3rd. And so from July 27th until August 2nd, we won't be able to process new business licenses. If somebody tries to pay, we'll figure that out. It's not like they're going to pay and the money's going to go out to the ether and whatever. But you won't be able to actually process it all. Both systems will be down and then come live on August 3rd for the HDL side. And then last thing I wanted to note, June 18th, Auburn Hook and Ladder Company will be stationed at both Staples and CVS to support the Auburn Union School District in collecting school supplies and personal items for students and families in need. That's the Fill the Fire Engine event. That's from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. On June 18th. And it'll feature both of the antique fire engines.
June 18th?
July 18th, sorry.
Okay, just making sure.
No, June 18th, yeah. It was already, we already did it.
Okay, so it already happened.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, then how much did we get?
I believe around 100 supplies.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. So instead of will be stationed, was stationed. That's all that I got. I can answer. Oh, National Night Out's going to be coming up August 4th, 2026. So that'll be in Old Town, I'm assuming again. So make sure to go to that. I can answer questions if you have questions. National Night Out is August 4th.
August 4th, thank you.
On here, isn't it?
Will you still go in the dunk tank?
Yeah, as long as people don't throw rocks at me.
Well, that'd be the
Baseball,
best option.
just not rocks.
Okay,
No rocks.
deal.
National Night Out.
Thank you very much. All right, any future agenda item requests? Council? Nope. And city council committee reports. Any reports?
Okay, quick, sustainability, front lawn. The next phase, as you can see, the mulch has been put out there. The next phase will be the wall and the path, which you're gonna work on, next month. And then plants will be in the fall. And there will be, there has been, as you know, cardboard was laid down. It's about an 1/8 inch thick, and now the mulch is on top. This suppresses weed. It decomposes, adds nutrient, and they're watering, constantly watering. So sustainability and Rotary worked on all the cardboard and the mulch, and Public Works did all of the irrigation. So everybody worked well together. Mulch is about 6 inches thick, and I'm looking forward to seeing the progress. They've been working very hard on that. So the next thing, then they had a talk, there's an individual working on collecting plastic, Jeff Davis, and he has collected 1/2 ton of plastic. And a lot of it's in his barn, but he's found places. Safeway takes it and gives it to Trex. And so and Briar Patch is also going to take it. So that was kind of interesting. Highway 49, sustainability is looking into a beautification process. I think Auburn City Council, Daniel Berlant started the whole idea of beautifying Highway 49 along the grocery outlet area. So sustainability is looking at that, just seeing who the stakeholders are. Caltrans is someone we have to work with, but that's one committee is looking at that.
And there is conduit for irrigation. I made sure that
Yes.
happened when the sidewalks went in.
Yeah, I think,
so.
thanks, I think Menj will help with that too.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you.
Yep.
And then there, grocery outlet, there's a parking lot tree landscape project that they're working with grocery outlet to try and get the parking lot to be a little more beautified. They've chopped down all the trees. So that's another project that they're working on. And I guess that's it for now. So that's sustainability. And then DBA, just real quickly, you can look forward to black trash cans are coming, 36 new black trash cans. And I think they said the old ones, I forgot, I think they're gonna get rid of them, the big cement ones, or put them in obscure places, so it'll look a lot nicer. And also, as I said, the night out, music night out, please go to that, but there's also vendors, and they're also going to have youth vendors there too, because they have expressed an interest, and they will not have to pay to have their booth. So that's a quick summary of my committees.
Thank you. Councilmember Down Calvillo?
Sure, thank you. I just want to say I'm really pleased to hear the Sustainability Committee is going to tackle Highway 49. That is something that I have been pushing for as well, and why I wanted to make sure we had irrigation there, because that very purpose. And I'm really pleased to see that they're going to tackle that, because we could really use that. Really,
Yes.
Really needs it. So thank you. Very happy to hear that. Just wanted to report that I will be in St. Paul, Minneapolis, Wednesday through Friday, with the Sacramento Area Council of Governments. We're doing a study mission there to check out their transit and transportation plans. So I'll be out of town until late Friday night. We did have a Pioneer Community Energy meeting last week on Thursday, and one thing that we did, here we did some bonds to help alleviate our debt for the unfunded liabilities for PERS. With Pioneer, we prepaid some of our power purchase agreements. We were able to do so through bonds. It's technical, but essentially when we sold our bonds, we were the first municipality ever to have a high-tech firm invest, and Alphabet invested. And so we were all over Fortune and all these different magazines and so forth because Alphabet invested in our bonds. And that process saved us millions and millions of dollars, which will result in savings for our ratepayers. We're front-loading our savings to $25 million for next year and $25 million for the year after. So it's huge, but very proud of the work that Pioneer was able to achieve and to make that happen. And then so pleased that Alphabet got involved because again, it was the first time that we've ever had any major tech invest in municipality, city, county, special district, CCA, doesn't matter. So really pleased that we were able to do that. Also had a meeting with the Sacramento Area Council of Governments on Thursday. We actually met in Placerville, where we visited an affordable housing project they recently built. So that was exciting to see that. And then, of course, we have our trip. So that concludes my report.
All right, fantastic. Councilmember Rodell Harris?
I don't have much. I just, we did extend the youth commission applications till the end of this month. So if anyone knows a middle schooler or high schooler who would like to participate in the youth commission next year, make sure they get their application in. That's it for me.
Cool, thank you very much. For myself, let's see, we've got economic development. August 11th is a town hall, small town talks. 5:30, another forum panel discussion, which should be very good. We will have, starting in August on Saturdays, movie in the park with the Arts Commission. ARD is preparing, in the midst of doing a voting for a small kids playground at Rec Park. So that'll be posted shortly. And finally, the Streetscape History and Art Advisory Committee is having a tile dedication for 4 tiles on June 23rd at 5:30. Jacob Neff, Sam Holiday, Tom Johnson, and the Hook and Ladder Company.
Tuesday, that's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow. All right, any further comments? Nope. Seeing none, we will adjourn tonight in memory of Jeff Mike